Hello everyone, Stevie here. This is just a quick preface to today's episode. Now, this being the first tale of the Dragon Ball Manga chapters is longer than most of the other chapters, so this video ended up being quite a bit longer than I would have liked and is longer than what the rest of the videos in the series will be. And before watching, just please remember that this is my review / rundown of the original Dragon Ball manga. These videos are intended for people that have maybe never seen the Dragon Ball manga or seen the original Dragon Ball series, or just for people who want to go back and remember bits of the manga chapters without having to go back and read them. I understand that this is a topic that is super emotive and everyone has their own views on it, including me, obviously. I am happy for any and all feedback to be put in the comments or tweeted to me at MajinStevie on Twitter. There's no right or wrong here. If you've got a view, post it, tell me about it, and we'll get some debate happening, because that's one thing I would like to have come from this, is people chatting about the original Dragon Ball series, because I feel it's really overlooked and it is a massive part of Dragon Ball history, obviously. So, without further ado, let's get into episode 1. Long, long ago, in a deep, dark forest, far from civilization, beyond a towering range of, well, you get the idea. It's the kind of place a story like this has to begin. Reading the manga, episode 1, Bloomers and the Monkey King. Time to begin reading the manga. Yay! We are starting today with Bloomers and the Monkey King. This is Tale 1 of Dragon Ball. Our story begins with a strange but happy-go-lucky boy with a tail. He is chopping wood with his bare hands, displaying a superhuman power right from the start. This kid seems to be one strange cookie, as we see him praying to a strange ball that he calls Grandpa before going out looking for food. We are then introduced to a teenage girl who seems to be on an adventure and is driving about the countryside looking for something which seems to be close by. The story goes back to the strange kid who is now using his tail to catch fish, as he comments that he got bear the other day, so I think he's going to get fish, as you do. For some reason, this kid felt the need to get naked just so he could use his tail as bait, even though his tail is always outside his clothing. As I said, he's a bit of a strange kid, but this strange kid manages to catch one big fish, and he makes his way home with his supper. It is on this strange kid's walk home where his path crosses with a teenage girl, and the story we know and love starts beginning to fall into place. Of course, the girl is Bulma and the boy is Goku. Bulma is driving through the countryside, not paying much attention to the road, and basically runs his supper over. It is here where we really see how strange Goku is, as he has no clue what has happened. He thinks the car that knocked him over is a monster which is out to steal his supper, and without hesitation, Goku takes this monster on with all his might. He picks the car up, he throws it away, and he demands that the monster fights him right now. Bulma, at this stage, has no idea what the heck is going on. All she knows is that she just ran over a small boy, but somehow he survived and is now trying to kill her. As you can imagine, she is scared, and her only option is to pull out her piece and try and pop a cap in this strange kid's ass, because, you know, it's Bulma, she's a bit irrational. Of course, the bullets do nothing, to Bulma's surprise, and at this point she screams, I'm not a demon, I'm human. Goku does not believe her at first, but as it turns out, that is because the only other human Goku has ever met or seen in his life was his grandpa. Goku has never met a girl before, so he didn't know what a girl was. He thought she was something else, and he was also surprised that girls don't have tails, whilst Bulma just thinks Goku's tail is a toy and that it's pretty funny. Now that Goku knows Bulma is a girl, he remembers that his grandpa always told him to treat girls nice, so he tells her to come back to his place and he will feed her. Bulma goes along with him as long as that's all he is planning to do with her, which is our first glimpse into the thought processes of Bulma in the Dragon Ball series, which will become more apparent as things go on. Bulma, being the brainiac, is now thinking that Goku, being as strong as he is, may come in helpful on her adventure, but it is when we get to Goku's house, he has a house, that she happens to find what she was looking for all along. Goku's grandpa aka the 4-star Dragon Ball. It is here in the story we learn about the magical wish orbs known as the Dragon Balls. Bulma already has collected 2, and once all 7 are collected, as we know, the dragon can be summoned and any wish can be made. After Bulma tries and fails to flirt with Goku by showing her ass to him just to get the 4-star ball, and as this is all that Goku has left of his grandpa, they decide to team up and go looking for the balls together. They briefly and finally learn each other's names, which took a while to get to. Bulma pulls out a Hoi Poi capsule and pops out a motorbike, which blows Goku's mind. For a brief period, again, he goes back to thinking Bulma has to be a witch because she has just managed to make a motorbike appear out of thin air. She manages to chill him out, they get on the bike, and away they go. Only 20 minutes into their journey, Bulma nearly kills them both via her reckless driving, which sent them both flying high into the air and crashed down into the road. Now Goku'd love this, as he has no idea what's going on. The innocence is just bliss for him. But Bulma, she just scared the crap out of herself, and she realizes like she needs to go pee. She needs to go pee. She is scared. So she needs to go find a bush. Goku doesn't understand this, because as far as he's aware, people are meant to pee in bushes. Why go behind them? But I digress. It is within seconds that Bulma has herself in trouble, as she is kidnapped by a nasty flying dinosaur who is planning on turning her into supper. Goku though, well, he's a little slow in this sort of situation, and pretty much all situations, and he actually thinks that Bulma and the dinosaur are friends, and he not only thinks that, but he lets the dinosaur tie him up so he can escape with Bulma. Bulma's screaming the whole time, and after some more screaming, Goku finally realizes that Bulma actually wants rescued, so Goku has to think on his feet. He uses his tail, gets untied, and he sees that the dinosaur's flying, and you can see him thinking, he's like, well, he cannot fly, but he remembers that the motorbike made them fly. As I say, the ignorance is bliss, so he manages to escape the rope, he jumps on the motorbike, and he just opens that thing up, wham, and he just goes flying. He very, very quickly chases and catches up to the dinosaur, and it is at this point we're introduced to Goku's weapon of choice, the Nyogi Nippo. Okay, right, it's a power pole. We are introduced to the power pole. Goku uses his power pole and with one swing cracks this dinosaur's head like a nut, sending it and Bulma crashing to the ground, but at the last moment Goku manages to use his power pole. He throws it, he catches Bulma, saves her, the dinosaur goes crashing. It is a swell ending for all. Goku is nice and happy, but we end the chapter with Bulma dangling from a cliff with the power pole through her arms, as you can see in the picture, screaming and peeing her pants, which, to be honest, sets us up for a lot of the humour which is in the Dragon Ball series. In closing this episode, I find it hard to review something this iconic. I mean, how does someone rate or review this? The fact is, this is the first in over 500 stories, and this episode serves to introduce us to the main protagonists of the series. It is a very fun story with both action and comedy, but as we know, it is the first of many. Next time on Reading the Manga, my balls are missing. See you all then.